software developers is not going to be completely wiped off the job market. It's just that they're very specific now on the software developers that they want to hire, and I'm talking about the companies. They're very specific on who they want to hire now, and it's not about knowing how to work with Python or knowing how to use Python. You need to extend your skills. You need to know how to work with APIs. You need to know how to use C++. You need to know framework. You need to know data. So it's not as before where only one programming language can get you into the job market. It's way more complicated now, and it's reality. It's reality. There is not much jobs out there for the IT sector. Now, if I go on to Indeed, right, and currently I'm in Toronto, so I'm going to remove Toronto and I'm just going to put Canada. In Canada, for Python, 8,000 jobs. 8,000 jobs for Python. Now, if I put C++ for Canada, 1,000 jobs. 1,000. Now, let me try another programming language like Java. Java, 1,000. And I'm searching all of Canada. Let me do JavaScript for all of Canada. 2,000. Just 2,000. So you have to put into consideration, this used to be 10,000, especially JavaScript. A lot of companies wanted people who knew JavaScript to work on their back end. JavaScript used to be hot commodity back in the days. That was a programming language that if you knew it by itself with nothing else, with no Node, no Express, and you would be perfectly fine. There's not that much need for tech roles. And I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it's reality. It's happening. Now, if I search for AI, and yes, I still want it for all of Canada, and search 4,000 plus jobs in the whole of Canada, right? So AI is more needed than a C++ developer or a Java developer. You see that? So we have to come to terms with it. We have to come to terms with the software era is it's wearing off. It's wearing off. Right now it's about AI and vibe coding. And vibe coding is not something that I'm really interested in. Right? I'm not interested in anything that doesn't stimulate my brain. I'm not interested in vibe coding. Now, when it comes to your skill, I would always choose data. If you know data, right, it's easy to move into different industry because in finance they use data, in the healthcare they use data. If you're going into like the stock market and different places, they still use data. So data is it's a skill in tech you can take anywhere you go. But going back to, should you learn how to code? I think you should absolutely still learn how to code because you never know what can happen. But I don't think you should put all of your focus into coding. You have to use some different type of tech stack. You have to use some different type of skill along with coding. So I know a lot of people, they go into the finance side. I think they call it fintech. Even on the stock market, if you can do some programming on that side, then that is also good. If you go into healthcare, right, and you know a bit about data and you know a bit on a little bit of networking in the healthcare field where you can do some practical stuff with your hands, that's the way to go, right? Even help desk used to be a job that was in high demand. Now you don't really need people in help desk anymore. I don't know if a lot of you guys have called into some type of help line for some piece of gadgets or tech that you have, right? When you call these lines now, you get AI to walk you through how to fix your product, right? I bought a headphone the other day, and I was having problems with my headphone, and I did not speak to an actual representative. I The whole process was through AI, and when AI cannot fix it anymore, they send me an email asking for pictures, and from there they just tell me, okay, I need to send the product back to replace it. So this is what the tech industry is coming to. It's coming to a point where it's only about AI. You need to know AI. If you cannot use AI, you're going to have a very hard time in the tech industry. A very, very, very hard time in the tech industry. So with all of that AI bubble and everything what's going on, I don't get the zeal to keep on upgrading my skill. I don't feel the need that I should be updating the skill. And to be honest with you, if I was in a different profession, I would not come over into tech. It's not secure. Your job will not be secure if you trying to make the move from a different career to come over into tech. You would probably regret it. You will probably regret it. The only thing I can say that I'm consistent with, the only thing I can do to still keep maintaining myself and maintaining my skill, I really enjoy Linux, so I would always write stuff on Linux and try to move things around and do some Linux stuff. But other than that, I know a lot of C++, but the modern C++ what's coming out right now, I don't have the zeal to read up the documentations about it, or I don't get the zeal to see what's going on and update my skill, because I just feel like, why should I do that? If I'm creating any projects, I could just prompt it into Copilot or any of the agent that is on your IDE, right? I was working on a project in Visual Studio Code, and every line that I wrote, the AI picked it up. The AI picked up or sensed what I'm trying to do and just complete everything for me. So in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, okay, why should I learn the new update in modern C++? We have, when you get to understand how deep AI can go, it's a really scary thing. It's a really scary thing, and it does not give me any type of motivation. It does not give me any type of what's that word I'm looking for? That rush to learn new technology. Now, the thing is, technology will always be there. Technology is something that is not going to go away anytime soon. There will still be developers, as I said in the beginning, but you have to be a specific developer, a developer that can develop things and incorporate AI. That's how I see the future of technology. So honestly, don't if you're in a different field, stay in your field, but yes, learn AI. If you are in a good paying job, I don't think you should make the move from your current career into technology. That IT right now is something that you have fun with. Have fun with IT. Write your code. Don't use AI. Write your code from scratch. Get familiar with everything. Get familiar with different programming languages. But in the back of your mind, just tell yourself that you're doing it for fun. And if you end up getting a job, then you get a job. But for you to completely shift from where you are and coming into tech hoping that you will get a job, it's going to be very complicated for you. Another thing that I wanted to touch on as well is the pay. Back then, if you are into IT, if you are into Python, if you knew how to code, the pay rate was much bigger. The pay rate for IT, the pay rate for IT was much, much, much bigger. Now, with IT, the pay rate is just as if you work in an admin job. They're not paying any. They're not paying anything if you know IT. I mean, there are some jobs still where they pay over 100K. For example, look at this QA job from 45 a year, right? Automation engineer, 60 to 65 a year. Software developer, 95 a year. So look at this, full stack developer, full stack, 45 to 55 a year. These type of jobs used to be over 100K. If you were in IT, you made a decent amount of money. A decent amount. Look at this job, 45. Now let's see what they're paying for Python developers, because everybody wants to learn Python, and because so much people in the tech industry, people who's even coming in, because their main focus is on Python, and a lot of people study Python, you are not like, they're not going to pay you that much, because the first thing the company is going to say, listen, there's a ton of people out there that knows Python, so we don't need to pay top dollars. If you don't want it, you can move on. We can get someone else to do it. Now look at this, software developer, junior to intermediate, 55. And this is like Python role, Python engineer they're looking for, not just a simple developer. They're looking for a Python backend engineer. Look how much they're paying for backend engineering. Senior server developer, senior. So I don't know what's really going on in IT or in the tech industry, but it's getting bad. It's not as how it used to be. It's getting bad. You cannot be looking for senior software engineer and your pay is only 75 to 90, right? These are the pay rate you get with simple admin job, right? If I go into administrative in Toronto and we search, look at this, right? The admin roles are paying the same as the IT roles, and some of the administrative roles is paying more than IT roles. They're paying more, way more. At this point, you have to ask yourself, like, is it worth coming into the IT world? Is it worth getting your certificates and everything? And as I said previously, if you want to come into IT, it's perfectly fine, but don't have it as it's a career that you want to move into. I think you should have it as, let me do something for fun, and if I get a career in it, then I'll take it. Now, the thing that I like with IT, that I love actually with IT, a lot of the skills that you gain from working in tech or even learning a lot of these different programming languages, you can create your own job. You can work for yourself. You can do a lot on your own if you know certain skills in IT, especially data and database, how to create databases. Even if you know how to do cybersecurity, you can have your own cybersecurity company. So there is a lot you can do by yourself with the knowledge that you gain from becoming or being in IT or moving over to IT. There's a lot you can do by yourself. You can set up different things. You can get your own customers and all of that. So that's the good thing of being in IT. You can do a lot on your own. But other than that, it's really complicated. So you have to know exactly what you want to do, where you need to go, and where have what section in IT that is very secure and wouldn't get overpowered with AI, and you wouldn't lose your job because of AI. Now, when you want to move over in IT, and if you want to feel secure, come over and keep your job, and AI wouldn't really mess with it. Beside data is networking and infrastructure. These are the stuff that is very hands-on, and you have to you have to literally do it yourself, and AI is not there to do that, and AI wouldn't mess with that type of job. But Other than that, you have to be very mindful when you're coming into IT. So yes, still learn how to code. And if you are in the tech industry already and you want to learn the new framework, why not do it for fun? It doesn't hurt if you know it, but I wouldn't put so much time into it. Anyways, this is my little ramble. Hope you have learned something. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and I will see you in the next video.